Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. Today, we're going to discuss HealthSherpa, the #1 platform for enrollment on the ACA, and we couldn't be prouder. On hand with me today is my colleague, Brad Petrella. He is the business director for Northern Ohio. I should say business director, business development manager for Northern Ohio.
Hey,
And
everyone.
alongside is Amber Dotson, hailing from Atlanta. She is our trainer, our account exec for HealthSherpa. And forgive me if I got some of those titles wrong, but let's just kick it off and get through some housekeeping. I know you have plenty of questions. Put those in the question box. We'll answer those questions at the end of the presentation. Okay, the question box is where we want to house stuff because that's a permanent record of things. And if there's an issue with some kind of sound or anything that you're having an issue with, you might also throw that in the question box as well. Okay. And here we are. And follow us on social media. Subscribe to our weekly Monday Minute newsletter for the latest Cornerstone carrier and industry updates. Again, Brad is the business development manager. He is in the Cleveland area. And there's his information. And again, here's my information down here in Cincinnati. And call us anytime with any question you might have. And we're so proud to have Amber on hand. Amber, real quick, what is your exact title?
I am heading up our agency training and education department.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, let me get rid of this. Okay, I'm having an issue with the screen. Okay, can you guys still hear me? All right.
Yep.
Are
Okay.
you trying to switch over to Amber?
It's, yeah, a lot of pop-ups here. Okay. All right. Okay. Are you muted? She's muted. Okay, I gotta unmute her.
I was, yeah, but I was just
Okay.
waiting.
Do you have to make her presenter or make her
Yeah,
organizer?
I've got to make her the presenter. All right.
I just,
Here we go.
Okay, one moment, everyone. Let me get my screen shared.
Can everybody hear her? Okay, you might just throw that in the question box and I'll monitor that. Questions?
Jeff, it's making me
Yes,
load
thanks, Mary
this.
Lee.
It's making me load this app into my systems to allow permission. So bear with me.
Okay, we'll give it a second. I think, my apologies. GoToMeeting is always doing updates. And thank you, Mary Lee, for confirming that.
while Amber is doing that, I just want to put a plug in for the ACA Individual Expo coming up on April 25th. I see many names on here who've already RSVP'd. Registration is closing soon, so if you're interested in coming, we've got an action-packed agenda. We have, like 12 carriers, ACA carriers, ancillary benefit carriers. So you're definitely going to want to be there because not everybody has met these carrier reps like you might be used to in Medicare in person. So this is a big opportunity to do that. It's going to be held at a location called the Aviator Restaurant, which is adjacent to the airport. So you get to watch planes take off and land all day long and hopefully not crash in through the window like the movie Airplane. So we sent that out in the Monday Minute.
Good. I'm sorry we're having a
Uh,
little technical difficulty. Is Amber back?
Yep, sorry, it reopened the
That's all right.
application.
Yeah, okay. I know how
If you
that
don't mind
works.
making use of center
That's
again, thank
okay.
you.
But hope everybody can join us in April. I'm going to make you the presenter again. Appreciate everybody's patience. And we
Okay.
see your screen now. If
See
you
my
blow
screen?
that
Should see
up.
two windows. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna pop this one into a slideshow. Okay, go ahead and
And
get started.
just one last check. Can all you guys see her screen relatively easily? Maybe somebody can reply to me on that. Okay.
Maybe
Yeah,
somebody from
Mary Lee
the
says yes.
CSU team. Okay.
Yes. We're off and running. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, thank you everyone for your patience, as Jeff already mentioned. But thank you so much for attending today's HealthSherpa Agent Account Training partnered with Cornerstone. As your teammates here mentioned, my name is Amber Dotson. I will be your host today, and I am with our agency training and education department team here at HealthSherpa. So I'm looking forward to walking you through the platform. Today's webinar, as you see here, is being recorded. I will also share this deck back with Cornerstone, so you will have access to it as needed. As Jeff mentioned, if you do have any questions, please be sure to pop those into the questions box so that we can get those addressed for you. And if there's anything that you need afterwards, just keep in mind you will also have the contact info for agent support. So you'll be able to access anything that you need after today's webinar as really you see fit. So with that out of the way, let's just take a quick 10,000 foot view at how this webinar is going to work. We have a few slides prepared. We're going to get through those pretty quickly today so that we can hop into our live demonstration. But just remember, you will have a copy of this deck so you can review any slides that you see at greater detail anytime you'd like. But today we are going to talk about HealthSherpa, what we do, how we do it. We know that you as licensed agents just really want to help people, so I promise we are here to help you do that. We're going to take a dive into account setup and we'll dig into the platform. So you'll get to see an application, how to search the marketplace, plan selection, all of that. So you will know exactly what to expect. We will also take a look at some of our unique post-enrollment tools within the platform during the demo. Those are going to be really nice to help you manage effectuations. And then, of course, we're going to look at some of those extra resources you have at your disposal, such as agent support, and then hop into Q&A. So without further ado, who is HealthSherpa? Put simply, HealthSherpa is an enrollment platform. We are built to make consumers and agents' lives easier. With HealthSherpa's enrollment technology, we're able to offer industry-leading training, tools, and support to connect agents and their clients to quality, affordable ACA health plans. With HealthSherpa in your corner, you can just rest assured writing ACA is not going to be near as overwhelming as it might sound or sometimes feel. This slide kind of goes into some numbers. So because of agents and agencies like you, we had a really strong and successful year. This past year, we actually had more volume on our platform than Healthcare.gov. So again, I will leave you to look at this slide at your leisure. Applications on the marketplace, we all know, can easily take, 30, 45 minutes? This slide is being very generous, saying they usually take about 15. On HealthSherpa's platform, it takes an average of only 7.5 minutes to complete an app. So if you want to dig into this slide, you can see some comparison numbers here of just kind of different click times going through each platform. Now, before you write any policies, I just want to quickly show you how important it is to have everything set up within your account. You'll want to have things integrated and just really ready to go. So I just want to chat quickly about how to do all of that. So this slide is going to be great for you if you really just still need to set up your HealthSherpa account. This will walk you through how to initiate that process. I've also included the join code for Cornerstone in case you just need to link your account up to Cornerstone directly. But if you're a part of an agency that maybe works with Cornerstone, please just work back with that agency directly. They'll have a different join code that you want to use in order to link up to their agency who may be linked to Cornerstone. Now, because we know kicking everything off is just, really hard and all that stuff too. Oh, hopping back one slide, sorry about that. We've added this little getting started guide. So even if these slides, you don't circle back to those, at least click on the getting started guide a couple times a year. It is evergreen. So it's a nice way to just at least twice a year, make sure you've got all your T's crossed. So let's dive into these last two steps here. They are a little bit nuanced. So integrating your FFM account. So CMS actually requires EDE partners like HealthSherpa to use additional FFM account authentication for all agents and brokers. It's truly just a security feature. All you have to do is click on the little integrate button or refresh button if you've already got it integrated. It'll bop you over to the CMS portal, log in there, and then that's it. It pushes you back. The integrations last for 30 days at a time, so you do need to keep it refreshed regularly. But again, it only takes a second. So if you haven't done that today or you're new to the platform, make sure you do that today. The second step is enabling EDE. Now, what in the world is it? We've referenced it a couple times. What are we even talking about? EDE stands for Enhanced Direct Enrollment. It's actually a CMS technology. EDE, though, is what allows HealthSherpa to fully integrate with Healthcare.gov for you on the back end and submit those applications without you having to be redirected over to Healthcare.gov. EDE is what allows you to complete the app in the average of only 7.5 minutes compared to the 30 plus on Healthcare.gov. This is what gives you a lot more time to help a lot more folks. So this slide will kind of show you what all you can do with HealthSherpa's EDE. You can complete your apps directly on HealthSherpa. You typically have a higher client effectuation rate. You've got document management, direct payment links, pre-filled renewal applications. You can grab certain documents like those 1095A forms, right? Those are coveted this time of year. Eligibility letters, all that stuff. So the fact that you really can do everything within HealthSherpa is pretty unique. Now, the biggest caveat, you do have to turn it on. So if ever you log into your account, if you ever see this cute little enable EDE button at the top of the page, please be sure to click on that. It's just going to have you walk through some identity verification steps, and then you'll be able to access consumer information. If you ever run into issues with that too, we do have some help articles tagged right here. You will always be able to reach out to agent support. And lastly, if you have a HealthSherpa account already and just need to link it up to Cornerstone, this slide will walk you through those steps. And honestly, why you would even want to do that, having an upline like Cornerstone is going to allow them to go in and really just support you. If there's ever an issue, maybe with a client or an application, they can see what's happening. They can help you call HealthSherpa. You still own your book completely. They're just there to support you as your upline. So for escalations or any issues, it's really nice. Okay, without further ado, okay, try to get through that as quickly as I could. Hopefully you could hear me. Okay, let's dive into the platform. So first things first, this is a staging environment. We are looking at completely made up information, so don't anybody panic. There's no risk of PII breach going on. This is really just so that we can walk through everything together. So when you log into your HealthSherpa account, you're going to land here on your Clients tab. On the left-hand side, you see several tabs, which we'll review together. On the top, you'll have a logo if you've chosen to upload it. Marketing Testing Agency is just the name of this testing account. So you typically will always see your name and your NPN. If ever you don't, just log out, clear your cache and cookies, and log back in, especially if you share computers in your office. Up here is where you'll start a subsidy application or search for an existing subsidy application. I'll show you those and we'll walk through those together. Here's our quoter, right? So this is really nice if you have some customers that say, honestly, I don't want to talk to you about my income yet. I just want to see what plans are available. Okay, you can do that too. If you remember nothing from our conversation today, please just use this as a takeaway. If you ever don't know where to start here. The question mark with the circle. I can email agent support, I can call agent support, I can even chat with them right here if they're online, and I can get to a help center. This help center is great. It's literally just a list of frequently asked questions. So for example, right now we're in special enrollment period season, right? What in the world are those? I can just start keying in words and it'll pull up a nice help article that walks me through all kinds of cool stuff to help me really understand what those are so that I can maximize my opportunities during the selling season. So just know that all of these resources live right here for you. You're not required to memorize this stuff. And then up here in the little gear icon, this is where you'll add states you're licensed in, any carrier appointments you have. You can transition your entire platform to Spanish if you need, etc. So let's start here on the tabs. First of all, clients and leads. What in the world is the difference? The way HealthSherpa defines a client is someone who has submitted their subsidy application and they've chosen a plan. So you're helping those folks effectuate. Maybe they have to turn in some documentation, they have to pay their binder premium, etc. The leads. Leads are folks who maybe have started their subsidy application or they've started shopping for a plan, but they actually haven't finalized one or both of those steps. So a lead is someone you're still kind of chasing that business before their enrollment period might end, right? Starting here on our clients tab, you'll see you've got loads of different clients listed below. I've got cute little up and down carrots. I can sort if I'd like to. I can actually click into their name right here, or I can click on view and it'll open up their client details page, which we're actually going to review together after we've done an application so that it'll make a lot more sense to you. We'll dig into that. Up here, you also have loads of different filters, right? So once I start selling on HealthSherpa, I can filter by carriers I've sold for, different states I've sold within, document status. This is great because it's actually a real-time updated field, document status. So action needed means that they need to turn in some sort of follow-up document, okay? They've got some homework, right? They might still have to prove their citizenship, prove their income, that kind of thing, and they haven't submitted anything to do it yet. Insufficient means they have submitted something, but it got rejected for whatever reason. Maybe it was blurry, maybe they submitted citizenship for their income follow-up item, whatever happened. Processing, right? Maybe the marketplace is still reviewing it. Expired, right? Maybe their window to actually submit that documentation has ended, completed, maybe it's been reviewed and approved. We also have a help article that defines all of these. So again, you don't have to remember those. It's just a really nice way to help you kind of arrange your day. Maybe you want to reach out to the insufficient people first. That way you can just kind of quickly knock those off your list of to-dos. Plan year. This is also really helpful come renewal season. So if I'm talking to a consumer and they call me and say, gosh, I want to talk about my 2023 plan, I haven't renewed yet, great, I can do that. If I have already renewed, I want to talk to you about my newly renewed plan in 2024, but I also have questions about my 2023. Great, you can filter however you need. Payment status is not currently updated in real time, but we are working that direction. So bear with us there. Hopefully you will see some improvements in payment status as well. Archived is also kind of cool. So for example, if I know that Juan and Eddie and Dolores have recently, let's say, moved outside of my service area, maybe they've moved to a state outside of Ohio and I'm not licensed there, I can actually archive those folks. And they just literally go away from this view, right? We went from 113 to 110, but they didn't get deleted. If I come here to archive, Dolores calls me and say, oh, good, I moved back. Great, no problem. I can come here, I can just grab whoever I'd like and just unarchive them, just as simply. It's just a nice way to make sure that I'm always looking at my current book of business, right? If I went to non-archive now, I've got 111. So it's a great way to just kind of clean up your clients table. I can sort by exchange if I'm selling for OFX as well. And then if I'm part of an agency that's using shared book or full book, sometimes I'll see these little features here. I can actually look at only my book of business if I want, or I can look at the other shared books of business that perhaps I've been given access to, maybe the agency book of business. This is great if I'm kind of working in a call center. Maybe I help my colleagues if their consumers call in. So if ever you see these toggles up here, just work back with your agency administrator on how they'd like you to use those. If you are new to HealthSherpa, keep in mind too, you can also import a book of business. This one's really specific on the instructions, so be sure to just read those. And quick call out, importing a book of business doesn't change the AOR on the application, doesn't do any of that. All it's going to do is load the data right here for you so that come renewal season, you have a lot less clicks to make, right? I can just grab Wonder Woman and we can go ahead and start our renewal flow. I also have the ability to export if I need to, my client list. And then up here, we have some new cool reporting going on. So I'll click here, the AOR at risk report. I can learn more here, which will just pop me right over to the help article. Okay, so I don't have to remember this. But basically, this is going to show me applications where, hold on, whatever I submitted on HealthSherpa, when I submitted it, I said I wanted this AOR on the application. Now, HealthSherpa shows there actually maybe a different AOR on the application, so my initial intended AOR could be at risk. No problem, might be totally okay. You might already know about it, but those folks are going to show up right here. Documents do. Maybe this is an easier view for you when you are helping those customers turn in those follow-up assignments so that you can help them effectuate. EDE access revoked. This is a nice one because remember what we talked about, right? EDE is that technology that's happening on the back end that helps you kind of sync up with the marketplace so that everything happens automatically and just really nicely. If your access is revoked to an application, you're no longer getting updated information on that application. So maybe a different agent has searched for that application and kind of claimed it into their book of business. Maybe that customer truly has walked off, or maybe there's fraud going on. Either way, that's okay. We have next steps for you outlined right here in the Learn More article. But at least this will help draw your eye to those folks if it's useful. Hopping here into our All Clients, before I move into the leads, I just want to quickly show you this Exports tab is newer. You've got all the same reports we just covered, right? So whether or not you prefer to use the little embedded reports within your clients table is fine, or you can come here and actually get them in like a CSV view. If you are an agency administrator, you also have a report that'll draw your eye to any referral applications that are awaiting consent upload so that you can receive your bonus payouts. Okay, so that is our clients tab. Hopping into our leads tab, you see you've got a lot of the same filters, right? You also still have the little up and down carrots. I can also, just like I could on my clients table, I can come here and search. I can type in an FFM ID if I want to. Anytime I search, it'll auto filter and just pull up the folks that match whatever I've keyed in. So it's a nice way to not have to cruise through all of your leads or all of your clients if you're looking for someone. The other cool thing though is the status. So this person applying for a subsidy, this person shopping for a health plan, this person confirming. I'll show you where this is in the process. My goodness, they're almost at the end. They might even think they're done. So when you reach out to people to kind of pick up maybe where you left off, or maybe they've started this application on their own and you're reaching out to help them perhaps for the first time, it's a nice way to see what type of questions they may have ready for you, right, before you even reach out. And it's a nice way, again, to kind of just prioritize your day a little bit. I can resume whenever I speak with them by just clicking on their name right here, or I can click on resume right here. If I click on their name, I'm going to open this for you in a new tab so you can see it. It'll also show me any of the data that they have already included within their shopping experience, or that perhaps I have included for them. Again, once this loads. So this person just had one person on the application. This is the plan they were already starting to shop for, etc. So it's a really nice way to just, again, have everything live in one place. This household profile is a newer feature that we're adding. This should launch a little bit later this week. So stay tuned. There will be some more announcements on that. Insights, we're going to cruise over just really quickly. This is a cool one if you're just kind of looking to understand your progress within HealthSherpa. If you are an agency administrator, you do have an agency view. It'll give you just kind of your progress over your downline agents. So again, just kind of a nice way to understand, look, everybody's got their EDE turned on. That's wonderful. The bonus tab is where our referral programs live. So what are those? So basically the way the referral program works is, let's say you're a newer agent, right? And you've just gotten licensed in some states, but you're still working on your appointments. If you'd like, you can continue helping consumers in the states that you're licensed in and choose to simply use HealthSherpa's NPN on an application instead of your own, if let's say you're not licensed with that carrier, right? And in doing that, we'll just pay you a flat referral fee instead of you being eligible for no dollars, right? Because you're not appointed with a carrier. We'll pay you a flat referral fee, and then you can continue assisting your consumer. So this is a tracker of all the referral dollars I am owed, right? I can see that some of these are pending review. I probably have to submit my consent, right? Proof of consent. And the other cool thing is the customer still lives in my clients tab, right? They're still my customer. I'm still helping them effectuate and all that good stuff. It's just a really nice way to view everyone that, to continue assisting everyone that may already be working with you. Now, really important thing on the referrals program is managing your carriers. So we talked a little bit already on the gear icon, the carriers menu. You can also get to it from here, edit your list of referred carriers, whichever you prefer is totally okay. Whether you participate in the referral program or not, you should come to the carrier's menu and make sure that any states you're licensed in, you add them here. If you don't add the state and you are licensed in it, we don't know you're licensed in it. So if I don't have Alabama listed here and I go to quote for Alabama, HealthSherpa is going to say, sorry, no dice. I haven't told them I'm licensed. So if I just add Alabama and then I say, okay, great, I'm appointed, I'd like to refer, whatever, I can do that right here and we're good to go. So just kind of keep that in mind. This is how we know how you'd like us to submit those applications. So if you tell us you're appointed with Blue Cross of Alabama, great, we'll use your NPN. Or a different NPN under your agency if that's what your agency administrator has set up for you. If you tell us to refer the application for this educator's health plan, that's what we're going to do. So make sure you come in here at least a couple times a year and make sure all of these are accurate and all the states you're licensed in are listed.
Can I jump in here real quick, Amber?
Oh, sure.
What happens if both boxes are checked? I see that sometimes.
Great question. I'm going to open the help article so that we can actually show folks where to find this answer. If both the appointed and refer boxes are selected, applications for that carrier will be processed as a referral, primarily because we don't know what you meant. So the referral is at least going to give you protection. We don't know if you're really appointed or not.
Okay, so
That's
shout out
really
to everybody. Make it really clear on what you intend to do with your
exactly. Great question. Cool. So hopping back into our platform here, I think we're actually here. We've got too many tabs open. Moving into our bonus program again, so we can finish that up. We do have some additional bonus programs available. If you ever have any questions about that, just work back with your partners there at Cornerstone. The marketing tab is one of my favorites. I'll cover it really quickly. Basically what it does is it gives you this really professional marketing landing page that you can share with your consumers. So if I pop this link into my auto signature or into my socials, or I say, hey, customer, if I was really helpful for you today, if you have a neighbor or a friend that might need my help, here, give them my link. Totally fine. Anyone can click on this link. And if they enter in their zip, they're going to go ahead and get their own quote. They can cruise right through the subsidy application. They can pick a plan, all without me even ever talking to them if they want to, right? Or if I prefer that path. Also, if they include an email address or a phone number at this point, I get a lead. So it's a really nice way to grow your book of business with very little upkeep on your end, unless you would like to reach out. All of your current carrier settings are going to be applied if a consumer uses your consumer link. So again, it's a really nice way for them to go ahead and cruise on through. You can also set up specific campaigns if you'd like, all for free. You can use different language settings. If you have any questions on setting up those campaigns, the help article is tagged right here. You can learn more about that. You can also customize the marketing page. So you can change up the name that's going to show, the phone number that's going to show whenever customers would like to reach out to you. This is where you can change your logo as well. You can change up your photo, the color palette, really whatever you would like to do. So it's a cool way to easily grow your book of business, or at least, with aid, grow your book of business. The agency tab, we're going to cover it just really high level. If you are an agency administrator and you do have questions about this, please, again, reach out to your partners at Cornerstone or reach out to agent support, right? You have the question mark up here too. Just give us a call. But basically, this is cool because it'll show you your agency hierarchy. Okay, so I can set up sub-agencies if I'd like. I can link my agents directly to my downline if I'd like. I can control which NPNs they're able to put on an application, including their own or excluding their own. I can allow them to share books of business. I can give them access to my entire agency book of business. That one's great if it's more of like a managerial level human that you're trying to grant this access for. And then additional admins. Maybe you have somebody that really helps you with the day-to-day in the agency. You can grant them admin rights. Again, you don't have to remember all that stuff either. If you hover over the circle, the question mark, you're going to get a little blurb that explains it. You can also go right to the help article to learn more for any of these features. So again, if you have questions about our agency tab, feel free to work back with your partners at Cornerstone. Moving into our settings tab here, this is where you'll change your password if you need to. Be sure to hit update so that it saves, of course. And this is where that coveted account integration lives, okay? So I can extend my integration right now if I want to. You can see that it expires currently on the 4th of April. So really quick call out, if I extend it today, today is March 12th. If I extend it today, I'm not gonna get from now until the 4th of April plus 30 days. I will only get 30 days ever. So now, instead of my expiration being the 4th of April, it will be the 12th of April because today is the 12th of March or thereabouts, right? Count out 30 days, might be 31. So you get the idea. So you always want to make sure that that's integrated or extend your integration, especially if you're going to go on vacation or something. You don't want it to time out while you're gone. If your data is ever incorrect in any of these fields, be sure to correct it. You'll likely have to reintegrate your account if that happens, but this should always reflect your personal agent information. And then if you do need to join an agency, you can do that below. If you need to set up an agency, you can do that here. And you do have several different settings available if you are an agency administrator. Okay, hopping into the good stuff. Let's talk about the application. We're going to start here on the quote button, okay, up here on the top right. Now, we're first talking about our quoter because it's very cool. It's very dynamic, and it's a great way if your consumer says, I don't want to talk to you about all the, nosy stuff you want to answer right now. I just want to see what plans are available. Totally okay. If I key in information here, this is a dynamic quoter. So it's going to change the results that display based on whatever I've keyed in. It's also going to give me little reminders along the way. So for example, subsidy. We all know as licensed agents that there are two types of subsidies, right? The advance premium of the tax credit, that's the dollars that go toward the premium. And then the cost share reduction, that's the stuff that can make it less expensive when you actually go to use the plan, right? I don't have to remember that though. I can see that there are two subsidies listed here and that they both have these little dashes under them. If I just hover, I'll get a little tooltip that actually reminds me, oh, this is the stuff that goes toward the monthly premium. Oh, this is the stuff that makes it less expensive when the customer goes to use the plan. And bonus, called out at the end, it's only eligible on silver plans. So it's a nice way to help you as an agent remember all of the crazy amounts of things you're supposed to remember in a conversation, right? If I have several folks actually applying for coverage, I'm going to add those people here, right? But in the 3 people applying for coverage, there's actually 5 people in their tax household. It's just that only 3 of the 5 are applying. That's how I would list this out, okay? So full tax hold amount goes over here. Who all is applying goes over here. Okay, we're going to take the happy path today. The other cool thing is the platform can really just be the bad guy for you. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but tobacco usage seems like a really sticky question for some people to answer. If I hover, I can easily say, hey, consumer, this is how the marketplace defines tobacco usage. This is your application. How do you want me to attest to this on your behalf? Because that's what you're doing. You're the licensed agent working on their behalf. You don't have to answer the questions for them, right? So let us be the bad guy. Let us take some of the pressure off of you. The tooltip with the question mark works the same way, right? So I can hover, I can just let the platform help me out anytime that I need. Also, if I change the toggle over to male, watch what happens. Like that pregnancy question goes away, right? So one of the ways the platform is able to save me time is by taking the questions I'm answering and going ahead and filling in the subsequent questions appropriately. Now, for now, all I want you to take away is that underneath this quoter are our plan results, okay? We're going to go over these after we do our application, but right now, I just want you to know that under the quoter are the plan results. Okay, hopping back into our dashboard right here, the top left. Let's talk about the actual application. So I can click on Start Application or Search Marketplace, and they're the exact same view. I'll show you Search Marketplace. Okay, so first name, last name, state, I've received permission, and search. Or I'm going to click back on the dashboard, go to Start Application. It's the exact same thing, right? First name, last name, date of birth, state, receive permission, and search. So let's do this together. We're going to go with Ohio. Now, of course, I have to acknowledge I've received permission to even search on the consumer's behalf. We all know CMS has those regulations. We're in a search. Now, shockingly, this consumer does not exist. So we're going to create a new application. If the consumer did exist, I'd be able to view them in my dashboard or go ahead and pull them into my clients. It'll say add to clients. We've got some pretty standard privacy statements here. Now, at this point, you see there is a double redirect option. There's no need for you to use that, okay? So just ignore that that's there. Okay, we'll come down here, we'll agree to those. Now again, consent. This is a really nice reminder that you need consent, right? If I need to download a consent form, I can email it digitally to my consumer, upload it if I'd like, or acknowledge I already have proof in my own records. Okay, we'll be able to add in some things here. We all know social is not actually an optional field, right? If I don't include a social, my consumer is going to be asked to prove their eligibility to apply for this coverage some other way, right? So if they don't have a social, that's okay. But if they do, it's not like they can just scooch on without providing it at some point. So please go ahead and set those expectations. If I'm in multiple counties, I can have the drop down here. And if we want to change our mailing address, we can. Yep, that looks right. Great. Email is optional, however, highly encouraged. It will allow the consumer to go ahead and set up a consumer dash when you're done as well, which will give them options to submit a lot of their own follow-up documents and do all that too. So very highly encouraged there. You can choose from many different written and spoken languages. You also have an other category if you'd like. This is simply just preference. What is your preference for us to tell CMS that you'd like to be communicated with, right? It's not going to actually stop snail mail or anything like that. So don't overpromise on that one. We're going to sync up with the marketplace. Now, if Wonder Woman is not actually applying for coverage, maybe Wonder Woman is actually doing a child-only plan, okay? And Wonder Woman is actually applying for coverage for Kiddo 1. Look at all these different relationships to you, by the way. Good gracious, there's a lot. And my favorite categories, other relative and other unrelated, okay? So really nice way where we allow you to really care for 100% of those complex tax household circumstances that you can easily run into, right? So if this person lives with Wonder Woman for a portion of the year, they're going to claim them on their taxes. If Wonder Woman is not applying, but they are applying for this person, I would just say no here. That's how you would do a child-only plan. If Wonder Woman is applying for coverage, I would say yes here. So either way, that's okay. If Wonder Woman is sure that they are not going to be eligible for any tax dollars, right, any subsidy dollars, I can also say no here, and that's okay. We'll skip some of those nosy income questions, and Wonder Woman can still shop for on-marketplace plans, right? She's not limited to only off-marketplace plans if she doesn't want to be, right? So that's okay too. So we're going to say yes there, and we'll remove this person just for ease. Today, we'll hit continue. Wonder Woman is not married. If they were, we could add that person. We do plan to file taxes. Now, if we said yes here, it'd say, great, was it Kiddo 1 that you just told me about, or is it an additional person? I can still add additional people here. And not going to be claimed by a dependent by anyone else, as a dependent rather. We don't live with anyone under the age of 19. Again, social is not optional, right? We all know that. But at this point, hopefully this is helpful to you. If I say I don't have a social, we're going to start getting some nasty grams. Okay, if that's true, go ahead and say, customer, I attest, I don't really have a social. I've never been issued one, etc. Okay, all right, you're going to have homework, right? So now I know I have to prove citizenship, immigration status, or income. I'm going to have to because I don't have a social. There's no other way for the marketplace and the IRS.gov to sync up, right? I haven't given them a social. So I'm going to have to prove it some other way, which is totally okay. Have not used tobacco 4 more times. Again, I can hover if these are sticky questions. Am a U.S. citizen or U.S. national, not currently incarcerated, detained, or jailed. American Indian and Alaska Native status, those do have a direct impact on subsidy eligibility and SEP windows. So be sure, just like all questions, that the consumers are answering these as accurately as possible. And these next one here, race, ethnicity, origin, and sexual orientation and assignment, these all do have decline to answer options if the consumer would prefer those, but CMS is really trying to focus on health equity. So if your consumer would like to answer these, just let them know CMS is asking them. Call out right here, see how it looks like, it almost looks like my customer's been duplicated. It's not, we're just actually on a separate page of questions. I'm also getting these nice little check marks along the way. If I already know I goofed on something, I can click back into the consumer's name or whatever the section is that I'd like to go to, or I can wait until the finalized section. I'll get a little edit button there and I can pop into the respective categories as well. So whatever's better for you in your flow is totally okay. Not a naturalized or derived citizen, not pregnant. Income. What do we include? What do we exclude? The list is long. Now, you already have tons to remember. So hopefully this is helpful for you. We include the list of what to include and what to exclude right here. So if I just expand this, it's all kinds of different tooltips, right? What do I include from these sources? What do I leave off? Okay, well, don't include these. What about this other random stuff, right? That maybe I'm helping a consumer and these pop up in the conversation. So just know that if this is ever beneficial for you, the income information is all going to live right here in this drop-down menu. Okay, so yes, we get income, and we're going to go with job. Look at this list. Oh my goodness. And other, right? It's an all-encompassing list. We'll say job, we'll say the planet. Now, if my consumer is not sure what they make annually, I can simply enter the info however they'd like to give it to me. I get paid hourly, I work 40 hours a week, and I earn $15 an hour. Great. So you, the agent, don't have to do the fast math. Okay, you can let us do that. We're going to take the happy path today. We'll hit save. So now I can see, okay, I've added this income. If I want to edit this or remove it, I can do that. I can add additional sources of income. If my consumer recently lost their job, I still had income this year, right? So I do still need to report the income. That's okay. That you would still list it just as you have, right? It's just if they've only worked so however many part of the year, just ask them what they actually earned for this portion of the year and list it that way. We don't have deductions. So yes, that looks correct. Extra help and additional questions. So the way this section works is if the answer is yes, check the box. If the answer is no, or I don't want to talk about it, see how some of these questions are optional, then you leave the box alone, okay? So we don't need any extra help. We don't have disabilities or mental health conditions, limit our ability to work. We don't need help with daily activities, so we're going to leave those alone. Medicaid or CHIP. If I've recently been kicked off, right? I'm about to be kicked off, or if I've already been kicked off. This is actually a dynamic date range because that kind of stuff is really tricky to figure out. It's going to look at today's date, the 12th of March, and it's going to go ahead and calculate your 60-day window around today's date. So keep that in mind. Hopefully this will be helpful. If I click yes here, you can see I get follow-up questions, right? If I leave it alone, I don't. So whatever you and your consumer need to do here is okay. Are we currently enrolled in coverage? Okay, so let's say again, recently lost our job. Yep, I'm enrolled. And wouldn't you know it though, it is going to be ending before the 11th of May. So I'm going to say yes here. Also a dynamic date range, so it's going to calculate your 60-day window. I don't need any information on health reimbursement arrangements, so I'm going to leave that blank. If I checked it, it's fine. I can get information about that. I haven't been offered ICHRA coverage or health reimbursement arrangement coverage that I just haven't taken. I'm not going to be offered coverage through a new job, so I'm not going to select that. If I did, right, I can see those questions adjust. So here we go. Lots of different SEPs going on this. let's look at these. Am I going to be losing coverage before the 11th of May? Yes. Okay, what date? All right, actually, it's going to be the 5th of May. Enter that in. Now, what if other stuff has also happened? I've also gotten married recently. Okay, great. What day? So multiple things can apply because multiple things can impact the next available effective date for this coverage for this consumer, right? So be sure to go through all of these questions with your consumer. Again, haven't been offered ICHRA or Coursera.
Guys, if you got a question about ICHRA, give us a call. We can go over that if you're unfamiliar with that term. Amber, just a quick question. How does someone change the primary contact person? I think there's a way to go in and edit that, right?
The primary contact person on a plan up here in the primary contact section, oftentimes, yes, you can go in and edit that. However, there are certain things that will trigger different, they're like very technical files that actually go from us over to the carrier and back. So not all changes in the primary contact section will generate that special file. So sometimes if they are just trying to change the primary contact information, they may just need to contact the carrier directly to get a lot of that to transfer over. If someone's, let's say, aging on to Medicare, then what they'll do is when they get into the, I believe it's here in the household section, they'll start that process there to say, hey, actually this person, remember we were doing Wonder Woman's child only application, right? They would say this person, this primary contact is no longer applying, but the rest of the family is. And that's totally okay to do. So if you run into that, just give agent support a call. We can do it with you as needed and troubleshoot.
Terrific. Thank you.
Of course. So here on our finalize page, you can see we've got little edit buttons here. We can hop back into those sections if we need. We're going to scroll down, make sure everything looks okay. We've got some just regular agreement sections here. Remember, we're in the subsidy application. This is only talking about, do we want our subsidy application to auto-renew every year? Their plan, totally separate. We haven't even gotten to that yet. So if they want their actual eligibility for subsidy dollars to go ahead and roll over, they can go ahead and agree to that. Totally optional. Tax attestation, I have to file them. If something changes, I have to tell somebody about it. And I can sign and submit. Now, I have already attested that I have consent to work on the consumer's behalf. So I can sign and submit on their behalf, right? Marketplace and Medicare, they talk, right? That's all we're saying here. Everybody's going to talk and share information. Oops. We're going to get our eligibility results and sync up to the marketplace. Now, at this point, what's nice is it's going to pop us right back into that plan results page. We're going to cruise through some of those filters together so you can actually see all of that. But when you get to this eligibility results, when your eligibility letter pops up, you can download this if you'd like. It'll give me a little pop-up here. But I can also see what type of total advance premium tax credit I'm eligible for, all the different homework items that I have, right? We left off the social, so we knew these were coming, right? That's no surprise. But look, I'm eligible for a special enrollment period. Cool. I'm eligible for that lower deductibles, out-of-pocket limits, and all that stuff too, and eligible for that advance premium tax credit. So very cool stuff. If I have multiple people on the plan and they actually have very different medical needs, underneath this Choose Marketplace plan is Shop Split Policies. So you can actually put them on different plans if you need to. There is a help article tagged in our deck if you'd like to learn more about that. Now we are running low on time, so I'm going to breeze through these filters pretty quickly for you. But if you have questions, go ahead and reach out to agent support. Provider is really cool because it'll auto search the providers in your area. And let's say it's actually not a deal breaker provider. They're just kind of curious to know if the provider's a network. I can see if the provider's a network, right here. If it is a deal breaker provider, I can check the box and my filter view will change to where now I only see plans where that provider is considered in network.
And I need to interject here. I do need to do a timeout. HealthSherpa receives this information from CMS. And I know for a fact the information that comes over from CMS is not always accurate because the carriers do not always update it. So granted, you can look at this provider search, but please, please, please verify it on the actual carrier's website. Just a word to the wise, always verify on the carrier website.
That's a great call out. And if you ever notice an issue, reach out to agent support. We'll need the zip code and the plan name, and the provider name, obviously, so that we can actually report those back to their providers to let them know, hey, you need to give CMS a new list. The one we have is outdated. You can also hop into any of these tabs. You can open them if you'd like, view the plan details right here, and you can hop directly into that plan's formulary, provider list, their full summary of benefits if you'd like. Really, whatever you need to do, you can view directly from HealthSherpa. I can compare up to 5 plans at a time if I would like to. I can also sort by silver plans, right? We know our consumer is cost share reduction eligible, so hopefully we can start by reviewing some of those silver plans with our consumer together. If I compare these, they're just going to be compared side by side. I can share this with my customer, and anytime I share something with my consumer, it's actually going to show them the exact page I hit share from, which is really nice, especially if you have a visual learner. You can get that going. So we're going to go ahead and add this one to our cart. We're going to scroll down. If they don't want to use all of their advanced premium tax credit, uncheck the box and just key in whatever amount they do want to use. It can be an odd number. It's totally okay. If my agency is participating in NPN override, I'll select the NPN that I'd like to put on the application here. I do have the opportunity to upload enrollment review consent or email that consent to my customer here. If this is a referral application, of course, it does need to be uploaded in order for me to receive payment. And then we are going to be popped into our dashboard. We're going to review our client details page right here. So once our client details page loads, the cool thing about this is it's got different sections, okay? So I've got follow-up items, application information, which plan are they actually in? Let's start here with follow-up items. So verify loss of coverage. Okay, I'm gonna open this in a new tab so that it has some time to load. What's really nice about this is I have 3 verify items. Which one did I even just click into, right? Okay, well, once it's done loading, it'll remind me up here at the top, okay, you clicked on loss of coverage. Down below is the full list of acceptable documents to verify the item I clicked into. So really nice that, again, all of those lists that you're supposed to remember, they all actually just live right here in the platform. I can select my document type, select my file, and upload that directly to the marketplace for review. The other nice thing is it's got the deadline for those. I can come here and look at the application. So if my customer calls and they say, I don't remember what my income was, I can go ahead and review what we placed on the application. We can edit that if we need to, cruise back through if they might be subsidy eligible. I can also see which plan they're on. So again, I can get to their plan details here if they don't remember what their copay is supposed to be. I can see the AOR that's on the application. I can even view their plan history, which is really nice if I'm working with someone who I suspect fraud regarding their application. I can see what's been going on. Enrollment history and consent records, marketplace notices. This is where you're going to find those coveted 1095A forms. So really nice to know that those live here. I can upload proof of consent if I want to here. The other cool thing about this is if I've included the customer's email address on their application, they get an opportunity to create a consumer dash on HealthSherpa for free. They just create a password and they get this exact same view. They don't have all the fancy tabs like you, obviously, but they can also upload their own follow-up documents and get their own 1095A forms. So it's a really nice way to kind of empower your consumer to stop calling you as often. Okay, we're going to hop into our deck and just finish over there, so that you can ask some questions. Oh golly, here we go. Okay. And I can give you the resources for agent support. So hopping back into slideshow mode, we're gonna go ahead and hop into this one. This is, again, how you reach out to agent support. If you ever have questions, we are here to help you. You can always call us, chat with us, email us anytime you need. Again, you will have access to this deck. But you can also just get all of these pieces of information just by going to your dashboard or at the bottom of our HealthSherpa.com website if you're just not sure where to start. And these are just some common agent questions that we've tagged. So again, I know the platform is a lot. We covered a lot today. How do I upload those follow-up documents? How did we talk about those 1095 forms? Where do we go to get those? We've just tagged some of those help articles here. So if this is helpful for you, just know that you will have access to this. We've also tagged a few of those agency features for you. So if you are an agency administrator and you do want to dig in further, you can do so. Okay, all right. I think I left as many minutes as possible for Q&A. So let me
Thanks so
open
much,
this.
Well
Amber.
done.
Fantastic job. Yeah, we do have a few questions. Well done.
Great.
So circling back to the referral. On the referral, do you still do the application or does someone else do the application?
Great question. No, you, the agent, will continue to do the application. So on a referral application, everything is exactly what we just covered. The only difference is at the end of the application, there's going to be a little screen that says, okay, you're referring this, so we're putting HealthSherpa's NPN on it. You good with that? You'll say yes, and then that's it. Other than that, it's the exact same application flow. That's a great question.
Okay, we got another question. What is an NPN override?
An NPN override is a feature that an agency administrator can set up. And basically, it allows the downline agents to actually write with a few maybe primary NPNs of that agency's. So Jeff, if you are my agency administrator and you don't want me to put my NPN on applications, you want me to just put yours on the application, I'm still licensed in the state to sell. I'm still helping the consumer. I'm writing the application. At the end, I'll just pop your NPN on that so that it's easier for, let's say, you as the principal agency administrator to chase those commissions and do all that and kind of keep it all in-house.
Yeah, and with the hassle of getting everybody in the agency appointed, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that's what they'll want to do is just get one person appointed with the carriers. But to be sure, all the people that write under that NPN, they need to be licensed and fully certified to write in
Oh,
that
yes.
particular state. Got to be
Yeah, you still have
certified.
to be.
No way
Absolutely.
around that.
No way around
Um,
that.
Next question. Premium paid using pay now doesn't go to the carrier even we get confirmation number. Premium paid using pay now doesn't go to the carrier even when we get confirmation number. I think that's a comment more than a question.
I think um, I want to say perhaps the agent's trying to report an issue. Maybe what they're saying is when they're using the pay now button, for some reason
Yeah.
the carrier's not getting it. I would reach out to agent support and just let us help you troubleshoot on that one. It may just be a delayed payment. So again, the payment field, for example, on HealthSherpa is not updated in real time because oftentimes right now it takes time for you when you submit the payment versus when the carrier charges the payment versus when they report that. Are all very different. So we're still working on getting that updated in real time, but just reach out to agent support so we can help you troubleshoot those. We do only have 1 minute left, so I just want to leave you with this slide because it's our most important slide. Thank you all so much for just joining our HealthSherpa training today, partnered with Cornerstone. Again, I'm Amber Dotson. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to agent support or your partners at Cornerstone. Jeff, I'll give it back to
Okay.
you.
Hey, Brad, any final thoughts? Any comments you want to make?
Well, yeah, I mean, good to know. Amber, great job. You covered so much information, and that leads to my next statement. This presentation is actually going to be emailed to you within a couple of days for those who attended, but it's also going to live on the Cornerstone Resource Center. So on demand, you could look at it at any time when you go to the webinar series of the Resource Center for the individual corner. That's where you'll be able to find it. So it's really, really great that we keep all of these for you all on demand to look at whenever you need, or maybe you had to leave early. Well, you'd already not be listening to this, so that doesn't matter. But so yeah, just really important to know that any webinar that we have with any carrier or vendor, such as HealthSherpa, all lives on the resource center of the Cornerstone website. So you don't have
Fantastic.
that, let us know. Yeah.
Great. Just let us know. And everybody, have a great day.
Thanks for joining, everyone.